Good morning, Miss Mueller, Dr. Mueller. Um, so this video is in reference to the final assignment that we had to do. So I just wanted to say my favorite thing about this class in general was just the simple fact that we got to go back and forth with other students and give our take on the topics that we had to study and go over. I like that every student got involved. I like that every student got a chance to read and present their presentation to the class. And then after every presentation, the class would actually get involved. Every single person. It's not like one student was reserved and they didn't talk as much as other students did. I felt like everyone got involved. I felt like everyone really gave feedback and really helped that student to understand why they liked their specific presentation and how their presentation kind of affected them. For me, this was great because it helps us to be better at giving presentations. It helps us to be better at being able to speak in front of everyone because we're going to do this in a professional setting when we have meetings, when we have staff meetings and things like that. Also, it just helps you to understand that if you're going to give a presentation, you need to research it. And you need to know every single part of that specific area that you're researching. That way, when someone asks you questions, you can answer those questions to the best of your ability without stumbling or falling over your feet. So that was one of my favorite parts. Another part that I really enjoyed is that all the students got involved. And then there were times where there were friendly debates where students went back and forth and they agreed to disagree in a very friendly way pertaining to some of the topics that we had to study. Like I can't remember the specific topic that it was, but it was Blake Luis, I think that's his name. Him and Dante ended up going back and forth, very, very friendly about the fact that there are some students that don't care about an athletic program because they're specifically there to try to get to the league, to go to the next level. And then Dante was saying, no, I disagree with that. Some people are actually trying to find an athletic program to where they can develop into men and be in a professional setting with coaches and staff that actually care about them. And Blake was more so on the side where, no, I've seen it with my own eyes. These kids don't care. They care about the NIL money. They're only going to be here for a year. Then they're going to transfer to another school because they're trying to get to the league. Nobody cares about the program. So I thought that was neat. They were back and forth. It was very friendly. They both gave very good points. I understood exactly where both of them were coming from because we see it all the time. And so for me, it's things like that that make the class very interesting. Another thing that I liked is that every Thursday or every Wednesday or Thursday, we knew that there was going to be a Zoom meeting. We had that specific link. So there was no excuse why we shouldn't show up. There was no excuse why we had to be late because we knew every Thursday or Wednesday, or every Wednesday or Thursday was going to be at 7 o'clock or 7:30. So I like that there was a specific time format. And I just like the overall point where we know that in this class, we're going to be vocal, we have to be involved, and we have to give some sort of feedback pertaining to that person's presentation. I don't think the class could have been done any better. I thought it was perfect. And then I like how you as a professor would come in also and give your piece after the students give their piece. And then sometimes I also really liked how, not sometimes, all the time, I liked how you would step back and then you would allow us to just go back and forth. And there were times where you wouldn't even step in until the last minute, and then you would give your take on what you thought. So I thought that was really neat that you would like basically just give the students the floor and you would kind of just stand back and like watch what we do. I thought that was really neat as well. So for me, this was one of my favorite classes. This was one of my classes where I thought it gave us the chance to interact the most. And I thought that this was one of my favorite classes because my professor actually got to talk to us and we got to know her, not on a personal level, but well, kind of on a personal level. You told us about your kids and you told us how you and your kids travel to different games and whatnot, and how your 5-year-old was already ready for you to sign her up for ball. So I think we did somewhat get to know you on a personal level. But besides that, all the other classes that I've had, nobody's, none of the other professors gave that type of feedback. None of the other professors allowed us to get to know them on a personal level. None of the other professors allowed us to, I guess, speak to them and talk to them at that capacity. So for me, this was neat. There's absolutely nothing that you need to do to make this class better. Everything was perfect. And I appreciate your professionalism and being a real Christian and just allowing us to interact and have this type of class. Thank you so much, and I look forward to keeping in contact. I sincerely mean that. Thank you.